White ball cricket fans will certainly have a lot to rejoice for now that we have the official return of good old ODI cricket. Back in action is ODI cricket with England versus Ireland, the first of three ODIs happening today at Southampton in the Rose Bowl. Wow, it's going to be an absolutely wonderful return. Slightly one-sided, you'd like to reckon, but do not discount any of these sides, especially Ireland, who've shown glimpses of promise in the recent past, and they'll be up for a fight versus a resurgent England. Now, an England side will be, of course, aided by the conditions. Now, there's no rain forecasted for the first ODI. Great conditions for batting as well at the Rose Bowl in Southampton. It could very well end up being a run fest, especially with how England have gone into this with their squad. Now, they're obviously being led by Eoin Morgan, who's the captain of the team. Moeen Ali has made himself available after a short break away from the game. He now returns as the vice captain of this ODI setup. However, there are a couple of players whom I have my eyes on from an England perspective, especially Sam Billings and David Willey. Two players who are making their comeback of sorts in the white ball setup for England. They've had spells in the past, obviously, a few injuries for Willey as well. Showed a lot of promise with his bowling. However, now these two gentlemen will be returning to the England setup, and the selectors will certainly have their eyes on them. Bairstow and Denley, two test match hopefuls who've been in and around the test match setup for a long time now, will look to show their promise as well in this series. Obviously, home conditions for these gents, and it'll be interesting to see how they sort of go about it and if they're able to make an impression on the selectors with their performances. However, all said and done, my eyes will be on Tom Banton. He's someone I admire so very much. At such a young age, he's been able to impress international cricket with his stints in the BBL and, of course, playing for England as well. However, now that we build up towards the IPL and we will see him eventually in KKR colours, this could be a good rehearsal, a good preparation of sorts for Banton before he heads into that big tournament in the UAE later in September. So my eyes will definitely be on Banton and, of course, the rest of the guys as well. Now, from an Irish perspective, obviously being led by Andrew Balbany, and of course Paul Stirling is in the mix of things. Now, this team has obviously shown promise, like I said at the beginning of the video as well, when they've come to England in the past with the red ball, etc. But you'd like to think that England definitely hold the advantage headed into the first ODI, the first of three ODIs before England take on Pakistan in the series with the visiting Pakistan team as well. All eyes obviously on England versus Ireland today at 6:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. The return of white ball cricket, good old-fashioned ODI cricket, is here, and we will be there to bring you the best from all of it.